hear in the accent, but that's what Ghana Month is all about. We try to bring everybody right on TV3 NewDay. And then also Sam Kwaku, Peprah of Ghana, great innovations together. But that's why we decided to bring them right here. And so let me just say, Dan, good morning to you. Thank you for. Are you new to Ghana, or you've always been here?
I've always been to Ghana.
Oh, in and out.
In and out. So it's always good to be back.
Yeah.
So thank you for having me.
Certainly. And then also for you, Sam, as well. What's this whole initiative you have? Tell me.
Yeah. Good morning to you and your listeners as well. So Solv, as it is, the name is as simple as you see it. We're digital business-to-business marketplace, and it's Ghana's first for small businesses. And what we aim to do is to address or smoothing the access to financing and business support services for SMEs, which really ultimately would help them grow and also become more sustainable in their growth. I mean, if you look at the data around, it suggests that SMEs constitute the largest population of employers, right? If you touch them in the right way, you actually are touching the economy in a very significant way. And that's what we aim to do in collaboration with our development partners, which are primarily financial institutions and those who provide these business support services.
Yeah. Now, and for Dan, when it comes to Southern Africa, East Africa, it's become a beehive of fintech and making sure small businesses get access to finance. And when it comes to Solv Ghana, who really becomes the end beneficiary in this B2B marketplace?
So it's going to be the SMEs, because as Sam mentioned, they contribute the largest portion to the GDP. I think some of the statistics we've seen is in excess of 22%. They employ over 60% of the labor force. But then they have a lot of challenges that need to be resolved, one of them being access to credit and business support. And that's the whole idea of bringing this sort of innovation to the market to try and resolve some of those issues.
So does it mean that the support you give is going to be different from a typical bank loan or financing?
It's different in a couple of ways. First of all, again, if you think about today, the way credit is working is you go to a bank, the first thing they ask you is to open a bank account.
Yeah,
and then the next thing they ask you is to bring a whole lot of securities. And most of these small businesses are not able to get this sort of requirement. So what Solv is trying to do is remove some of these frictions so that businesses can be able to get access to credit.
Yeah, well, certainly. And so it will mean that, no, because in Ghana, if my small business wants to go over, they tell you, even the piece of landed property you have, even if it's valued, they'll tell you it's not a surety, so to speak. So how then do we go about it? Making sure that we resolve that when it comes to accessing what Solv Ghana has for small businesses. So
what Solv is doing is leveraging technology and also existing data around the SMEs and the work they do to then create a trusted relationship between the SMEs and the partners that we bring on board to support them, so financial institutions. And metadata is something that is traditional banking doesn't put a lot of emphasis on today. But what we're looking to do is to bring that non-standardized information into the equation. And so when you take a typical SME who is a distributor for a wholesaler of manufactured products, that SME, the commercial data around them in terms of what volumes and value they are doing on a weekly or monthly basis is very important information. But how do you corroborate that information when I tell you as an SME that I only do 50 boxes a week? If the guy who supplies me and the guy who manufactures it is able to tell me that, yes, indeed, this is my capacity, and therefore this is the working capital that I use in picking up those 50 boxes. When you have shortfalls as an SME in your distribution, working capital that you use for your distribution, we should be able to gauge and say, well, if we give you an extra 20,000 cedis, it would help you pick up an additional 30 boxes, which you can sell, because their level of operation is restricted not by their inability to sell, but really the funds not being available when they need it to be able to do that. And so we're making the process seamless, reducing the requirement for collateral for low threshold borrowings. And the borrowings are actually on a 30-day basis, right? So if I need to pick an extra 10 boxes for 15 days, I should borrow for 15 days and pay back digitally and electronically. So that really is what we're trying to do.
And Ken, you talked about the partners behind you, etc. Who are they? And then also in a typical fintech environment, and from what we're seeing, there should be some differentiation. What really is it? What Solv Ghana has, and then what is in the marketplace? The institutions behind you, and then that one as well.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. And the challenges that SMEs are facing are not going to be resolved in a siloed way. And that's why collaboration becomes very, very essential.
Yeah.
So the journey for Solv Ghana started about 4 or 5 years ago, when we had discussions between the Ministry of Finance and the Singapore Monetary Authority. And that mooted the whole idea of bringing partners.
The Minister of Finance of Ghana?
The Minister of Finance for Ghana. Mooted the whole idea of bringing what we call ecosystem partners. So in Ghana, so like I said, we've worked with the Minister of Finance, we've worked with the Bank of Ghana, we've worked with the 2 local banks, that's GCB and CBG, and then of course there's SC Ventures, which is the investment arm for Standard Chartered Bank, to try and pull all together. And then of course we have also had to work with local manufacturers, because at the end of the day, those are the people we are trying to solve problems for. The SMEs who work within their distributorship. So it's a very collaborative way of building the Solv Ghana.
Okay. So, Sam, how long have you been in, and what's the vision? What's the vision now? As we tend to, are you launching today, or you've already launched, and what's the vision?
Yeah. So our launch to the public was on Wednesday, the 28th.
Just 2 days ago.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Ahead of Ghana Month.
Yes.
Because we want to.
And we are here on Ghana Month.
Yes, yes. And the interesting thing is, at Solv, we see ourselves as the loom that is weaving the kente of the Ghanaian economy, right? And so the beauty and the resilience of that fabric is what we're looking to bring every strand into, to then give SMEs a more sustainable future. I think long term, what we aim to do is to make it possible for SMEs all the way down to the last mile retailer to be able to get access to financing in a very seamless manner.
Okay.
To enable.
Are you on social media? What's your social media platforms?
It's at Solv Ghana. Is where you can find us. We're on all the channels. All
right. From Solv Ghana, we have Sam. I think that fintechs always like to keep things simple. So I have Sam and Dan. Sam and Dan, Solv Ghana. Make sure you go onto their social media platforms, get the best from them. But it's also the birthday of a great person who is a distinguished media practitioner as well as businessman, and Bola Ray from Robert Coleman of Wembley Sports.